Greenland, the biggest island in the world, an absolute goldmine for natural resources, economic opportunity, political grifting, and rotten fish blubber. Yeah, I'm not gonna rag on these guys' cuisine too much because they've already had their indigenous culture eroded away enough by the demonic Danes. I mean, imagine some European dickhead shows up in your permanently frozen fishing village and forces you to learn and speak and write a language that sounds like this? Oh man, I would be pissed. I would actually be pissed. Greenland has been in the news a lot recently due to Trump's claims that he's going to either invade or buy this frozen island. You know, focusing on spending billions of dollars on foreign policy, whilst the second biggest American city burns to the ground because of the massive financial cuts in their fire department budget. Yeah. Anyway, it might surprise you to know this is not America's first endeavor into Greenland. Actually, far from it. For example, in 1959, the US military built a literal city under the ice of northwestern Greenland. It was called Camp Century. Its purpose was to test if nuclear missiles could be shot through 3 kilometers of snow and ice. Not only is this absolutely impossible, they also found out all the tunnels they dug out to live in were extremely unstable and dangerous. So they evacuated the camp in 1967, leaving behind over 200,000 liters of diesel fuel, a massive amount of radioactive waste, and also their poo buried in the snow, all of which will leak into the sea when the snow melts in approximately 2090. Awesome. Overall though, Greenland melting away is seen by foreign leaders as a massive W, as this opens up opportunities to access and mine more shit out of the ground, and also establish new shipping routes. And a lot of countries really have their eyes on this. To give you a full picture of what's going on here with Greenland specifically, I've got to tell this story chronologically though. And you might be wondering why the seemingly least green place on Earth is called Greenland. Well, in the year 1985, 25 Viking ships left Iceland on an expedition led by Erik the Red. The reason this guy Erik had to dip out of Iceland was because he had been exiled from Norway for murder and then exiled again from Iceland for murder. So I don't think this was the kind of guy you'd want to piss off, you know. I would not steal this guy's fermented whale blubber, no way. Eventually, 14 of the 25 ships made it to the shores of this new land, and they established the first Viking settlement on Greenland. Now, this guy Erik the Red had an amazing master plan to make his existence a bit less lonely. He would send a variety of his Viking comrades back over to Iceland over the years as messengers who would spread news about this amazing, fertile, arable green land. Greenland, where you can grow anything you want. And then for about 400 years, people started to trickle over, making a horrendous voyage just to land in fucking Greenland. And I can only imagine the look on these guys' faces when they landed here, bro. Oh my god, Ivor, you fucking idiot. I thought this shit was meant to be drip. I know I shouldn't have listened to that dickhead Erik. Erik the Red's son, Leif Erikson, actually became the first European to ever step foot in North America ever, which is pretty insane, actually. The real question here, though, is do you want to be like Leif Erikson? Do you want to travel the world? Whether it's Greenland or Greece that you want to go to, it's so important that you learn the language if you want to have a valuable travel experience. That's where italki comes in. Using this online language learning platform, you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers anytime, anywhere. Because it's just you and the teacher, you'll really focus on your speaking and listening, you know, more conversational skills, which will increase your confidence through actual interactions. For me, that's about 1,000 million times more useful than what you get out of conventional lessons. When I took language classes in school, I genuinely didn't gain any useful conversational skills. But 30 minutes on italki with my teacher, and I already had the basic phrases down.
More greetings like morning, kalimera, try kalispera.
Kalispera.
And kalinichta.
Kalinichta.
Perfect. So kali is good, and then you have good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and kalinichta, good night before you go to sleep.
If you want to find a mentor that's a good match for you, just like I did, italki makes it easy. There's over 30,000 teachers, and you can find the perfect one through filtering by lesson category or even where the teacher's from. And best of all, with italki, you can pay for each lesson individually. There's no subscriptions, and lessons are priced from only $5. Yes. You also get 3 trial lessons, which are refundable, so there's no financial risk involved. Yes. Start your language learning journey now with the link below in the description, and don't forget to use the promo code GEOPOD2025, all caps. This gives the first 50 users an extra $5 when they make their first purchase of $10 or more. Yes. So be quick, sign up now. Anyway, mysteriously though, in 1450, Viking civilization in Greenland completely ceased to exist. No one actually knows what happens here, but the common hypothesis is that sea level rise, drought, abnormally cold weather, and disease weakened the Vikings a lot. They milked the land too much and started having some really bad crops. And then when they were at their lowest, them TGs, them fuel gangsters came and finished the job. No more Vikings in Greenland. For centuries it stayed like this, just a couple Inuits knocking about and a lot of fucking snow and ice. But during this time, Denmark genuinely assumed that the Vikings in Greenland were just mad at them. That's why they didn't contact Denmark for like 600 years. They were just pissed. And finally, in the 1700s, Norway and Denmark were like, yo, it's time to reconnect with our boys out in Greenland. So they sailed over to Greenland literally with the aim of converting Erik the Red's ancestors from paganism to Christianity. But when they got there, they found no one, because as we know, they all fucking died, you Danish idiots. Yeah, the Danes arrived in 1721 and they were so confused that they apparently just decided to baptize every single Inuit they could find instead for some reason. This kind of stuff goes on for a while. Denmark takes these guys' resources and in return teaches them Christianity, capitalism, and worst of all, Danish. And then Denmark becomes part of Nazi Germany in World War II. Greenlanders were like, no thanks, which left Greenland unoccupied. So America swooped in. From 1941 onwards, the USA established loads of military bases, stations, etc. You know, we talked about the one pathetic nuclear attempt. And economically, Greenland traded a lot better with the USA since they were able to sell shitloads of natural resources to the Americans, specifically cryolite. Technically, Greenland was eventually given back to Denmark, but it never left its partnership with America until kinda recently. They've been bending it, let's say. See, America might get an air base here or a consulate in the capital, but they're not really getting any of Greenland's natural resources. They're not even in the top 5 of Greenland's export partners. This could be because America prefers to buy resources from countries at ridiculously low prices from impoverished nations, and if the country isn't impoverished, well, they'll just invade it, bomb the fuck out of it, and make it poor. Hello, Mr. President. Hello. To me, it's really no surprise that Trump has been throwing around the idea of acquiring Greenland. To him, this is just a gold mine he's not tapping into. But you know who is? You know who is though? That's right, my glorious Pooh Bear, the man himself, Big Ping. This just rubs salt in the wound for America. Over the recent years, the exports of Greenland to China have increased massively, going from 132 million in 2017 to 353 million in 2022. And China has officially started defining itself as a near Arctic state. That's right, despite China having no territory up in the North Pole, they are absolutely looking at developing new fishing routes. And as is clear, with Greenland, they've been balling out, staking their claim in the Arctic's natural resources. This is why Trump's puffing out his chest so much. He's scared. He's intimidated by my boy Ping, bro.
朋友是一个坚韧不拔的纪录片，在香港这座城市的设置。主演钱德勒、罗奥斯、福波斯伊、瑞秋、莫妮卡和一些其他他妈的演员。
This is why, whilst entire cities in America are burning because of the lack of funding for services such as the fire department, Trump is looking at spending more on his foreign policy, which people for some reason seem to be adamant that he isn't doing. Like, bro, there's a lot more to foreign policy than just Ukraine. You realize this man would rather spend his country's budget on buying Greenland, Panama, Canada, and then giving the rest of the budget to Israel than investing it in his own country, right? I don't know, man, though. Just imagine a Walmart here. I don't know, though, man. Just imagine a Cracker Barrel here, though. Dude, hear me out, man. Just imagine a Costco here, bro. Will this man really buy Greenland during his presidency? I don't really think so, hopefully. But it does show how important and how valuable the North Pole will be in the foreseeable future. And the thing is, in the great scheme of the world's history, America's oil and natural resources are running out fast. And it's my opinion that if you guys really need Greenland, if you really want Greenland's oil, coal, graphite, uranium, precious stones, rare earth metals, if you want it that bad, then you guys should just swap. Let the 57,000 Greenlanders have the entire United States of America, and you damn Americans all move to Greenland. I want to see you try. After all, it would be so poetic, right? The first European to ever step foot on North American soil was raised in Greenland. So honestly, I think you owe it to them. 2025, I want to see the grand Greenlandish empire rise up and annex all of North America. Easy, I think easy, no problem.